This morning, I shared this on X at Pete Mundo, and it's already gotten a lot of attention. A lot of you had chimed in on it, so I wanted to ask you about it here on KCMO. KCTV5 had a video of what Morton Amphitheater is going to look like up in Riverside. It's opening up this year, outdoor amphitheater. I mean, it looks beautiful. It looks great. And they've got some big shows coming. We've given away tickets to some of those shows and talked about some of those shows, and I'm sure there's more to come on that coming up in the next few weeks. But my question was this on social media. While Morton Amphitheater looks like a great venue, can Kansas City sustain Morton Amphitheater, Azura, Sandstone, whatever you want to call it, out in Bonner, Starlight, which I know is a smaller venue, and then T-Mobile Center, which I think is losing some shows because of Morton Amphitheater, which, just so we're all on the same page, is owned by Live Nation. So Live Nation is going to drive a lot of its shows, at least in the summer, to a place like Morton Amphitheater because it allows them to control basically everything. So is the pie growing, or are we just further dividing the pie into different locations? And it feels like to me, all we're doing is dividing the pie, and something's going to go here, John.
I agree with you. That's kind of been the history as I've gone to concerts all my life in this city. Memorial Hall was a venue that used to be, a place where newer bands would go when I was going to concerts. It does about maybe 1,700 people, but very few shows, if any, go there at all now. And Municipal Auditorium hosts them. But I think it's not like a sports venue where it actually gets replaced and one kind of closes. We're just doing natural attrition. To your point, I went to Kansas last year at Sandstone, and I hadn't been out there for a while, and compared to Starlight, which is kept up and also has a different stream where they've always done the theater production, so they draw in more money from a different, nightly there for a run of engagement.
So here's what's weird, though, because I saw that Sandstone, and now you're going to have me calling it Sandstone. Azura Amphitheater did $1 million in renovations that they finished before 2025. So you're telling me it was not evident on where the $1 million was spent?
No, there were some, lighting displays that were different or close to high tech or up to date. But,
okay.
Beyond that, I couldn't notice. And they actually don't have you park where you used to. And so I was like, I don't know if they spent money in parking signs telling you, can't park here, go down there.
Yeah.
So
well,
I'm not sure.
Tony's Kansas City wrote about this, and he had the link last night. Headline, Salty Take, Riverside Morton Amphitheater will mostly feature D-list. He writes here, we're not sure this economic climate is right for charging top dollar to watch three of the original members of Journey belt out hits from the 1980s. Well, there's always an audience for that.
Well, there you go. You've been here long enough to understand. Journey comes around and gets their mail every year, and they'll draw enough people. They've played at Sporting here out at Children's Mercy Park before. They play Starlight. They played all the venues.
Yeah, so I'm looking at that, and I'm like, well, I've seen the shows they've got listed. Mm-hmm. It's not a bad list at all.
No.
It's just like anything else. It's going to depend on the price point. My thing is, if some of these shows otherwise would have gone to Azura or otherwise would have gone to T-Mobile potentially, even if they're closing off the top section at T-Mobile, which they'll do for some shows, is Kansas City as a region really winning here? And the answer is no. You're just moving pieces around. That's all you're doing.
I think you'll get a few more shows of bands that want to play a new venue. That happens sometimes. They'll go, we'll go to Kansas City because there's a new place to play. So you might get maybe a quarter of these shows might not have come here at all.
Well,
maybe.
And that's where Live Nation may drive people to Kansas City to be like, we want you to play our venue.
That's true.
And they may not have otherwise come. So there's I think a sliver of shows that may be coming here because Live Nation now owns this facility. That's, I think, entirely possible. But do I think that we just have, because there's a new venue, it means there's now a huge amount of artists that are just going to flood Kansas City? No. Because in the end, you have the same pot and pie of customers, right?
Yep.
You have about 2.5, 3 million people in the metro. You're pulling from the same group. So either you think that Kansas City makes sense to bring your band or bring your show to, or you don't, based on what you think you can sell tickets for and at how much. That's it. The venues don't change anything about that, to your point.
I'm with you there, and it looks like, as I look at the roster here, maybe two of these shows might be T-Mobile size. The rest of these I wouldn't say are quite that big anyways. So I don't know if it's going to hurt T-Mobile a whole lot.
Well, I think I see that Morton Amphitheater is going to be like 16 to 18,000. So it's going to have.
Wait, I don't. Is that all permanent seats?
That's a good point.
Lawn seats you can cram a lot. That was the same thing. Alabama would put like 20,000 out at Azura /Sandstone / was a Providence, St. Martin. All of them.
12,000 seats, 4,000 lawn for Morton Amphitheater.
Yeah.
So you can get up to 16, but you're right. 12 is going to be the base with the seats. 913-408-7957. Let's go to Olathe. Jason, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Pete. I was just going to chime in. I'm a chauffeur, so I drive a lot of people to these different venues, and I think, you said B-list, C-list at Morton, but Chris Stapleton's coming there, and he's one of my favorites.
Well, I agree. I didn't say that. That's what Tony's Kansas City said, and I disagree with Tony on that. They've got some good shows coming. You're right. Tony's got to get out a little more, in my opinion.
Yeah, gotcha. No, but like Starlight, it's got the niche, like you said, the smaller, more intimate, stuff, and then you got T-Mobile. But T-Mobile, you can do like the sporting events and monster trucks. A lot different than the smaller ones. So I think Kansas City will be able to accommodate it all and get everything in there. And tomorrow for your wedding, if you need a ride, let me know. I got 3 4-wheel drives, so I can get you where you need to go.
That's good to know. Drop me a note on the text line if you don't mind. Same number that you just called.
Will do. Have a great day. Stay
all right.
warm.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's good to know. Yeah, I do have this wedding tomorrow night that we're supposed to go to, Kate and I. And we're planning on going. We've got everything lined up. But, if we get that Luke Doris 8-9 inches, it's going to be tough. We'll see. Steve in KCK. What's up, Steve?
Hey, Pete, good morning. I've been out to a couple shows out at Sandstone the last couple of years, and it's dead. They don't even sell out lawn seats anymore. I was thinking that would be – Morton Amphitheater is going to kill that place, I think. That's just my prediction. I could be wrong. But I think that would be a great place for a Chiefs stadium, Might have to put
there you go.
Well, they don't have a stadium site yet. That did come up in the big meeting this week. There still is no technical location for the Chiefs to build their stadium.
Yeah, the Renaissance nerds might have to find another place to hold their cosplay, but that'd be a great place for a stadium, not the room.
They don't have – Steve, I'm looking at the list here. They don't have a lot of shows out there right now lined up.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got ZZ Top and Dwight Yoakam, Bush, and then the Country Stampede show at the end of June. I mean, unless they just haven't updated their website. That's all that Azura has right now.
They may fill in some of those package tours, Vans Warped Tour, where you get 5 or 6 bands. So some of those will stop there, maybe add to that roster.
I hope.
But the single act and the dual act things are more likely headed, obviously, to the newer venue.
Well, look at this. I mean, this is a week in August at Morton Amphitheater. Within 8 days, Train on August 12th, Rod Stewart August 15th, Guns N' Roses August 19th, 5 Seconds of Summer August 20th. And then 5 days after that, Chicago and Styx. And then Jack Johnson 10 days later on September 1st.
It is busy out there this summer.
Mellencamp's going to be there. I mean, Leonard Skinner. You got the whole Foreigner. I mean, you got the whole rundown here. Stapleton's in October. I mean, those are great. Those are good shows. Those are really good shows. And yes, there were subsidies involved on Morton Amphitheater because, of course. I'll just leave it at that.